This is the business news on Wave of M91.7 Port Harcourt. I am Excel Uwaezuoke. The World Bank Group has committed $8.2 billion to expand electricity access across sub-Saharan Africa, targeting millions of people still without power. The funding anchors Mission 300, a joint initiative with the African Development Bank Group aimed at connecting 300 million people to electricity by 2030. Under the plan, the World Bank will deliver 250 million connections, while the African Development Bank is expected to provide the remaining 50 million. The program, supported by public and private sector financing, has already mobilized an additional $1.2 billion, with projects underway in more than 40 countries and over 150 programs in progress. East Africa secured $4.1 billion in investments between 2021 and 2025, driven by capital market reforms and foreign exchange liberalization. The figures were announced at the AVCA conference and VC summit, where over 800 investors gathered to position Kenya as a key gateway for private capital into Africa. Experts attribute the inflow to improved governance and streamlined market entry and exit processes in key economies such as Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda. The Nigerian Railway Corporation has reaffirmed its commitment to staff welfare and workplace safety as it marked the World Day for Safety and Health at Work. Managing Director Kayode Opeifa described the 2026 theme, Good Physio-Social Working Environment, a pathway to thriving workers and strong organizations, as timely. He urged railway workers nationwide, including train operators and administrative staff, to prioritize safety, noting the demanding nature of railway operations and the collective responsibility to protect passengers. On the Florentine, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has announced a lower than expected budget deficit, supported by rising oil prices and economic resilience. A spring economic update indicates the country's debt is about 14% lower than earlier projections, compared to a forecast deficit of $7.83 billion Canadian dollars for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. The update follows the announcement of a sovereign wealth fund aimed at financing infrastructure and other domestic investments. On the foreign exchange market, $1 traded for 1,430 naira at the parallel market, while the British pound still at 1,920 naira. Meanwhile, €1 at 1,603 naira at the same platform. Moving on to the crude market, a barrel of Brent crude similar to Nigeria's Bonny Light traded for $104.10, a decrease of 30 cents or 0.3%. Similarly, the West Texas Intermediate for $99.46, a decrease of 47 cents or depreciation of 0.4%. And that's business news on Daybreak Nigeria this morning, compiled by Ayo Oduberu. You can also listen to us on Wave of M917.com. For pictures and stories in the news, follow us on Facebook and X at 917 Wave of M and at Wave 917 of M on Instagram and Thread. Remember, Nigeria is our only country. We should join hands and make it great. I am Excel Uwaezuoke. Good morning and thank you for listening.